Immediately after I told Rowan that I wanted to break up with her, she began threatening to post about me online, and even began attempting to blackmail me into having with her again. After the way these conversations have gone today, I really don't think so.
Why?
Because you're, like, threatening to blackmail me.
I'm not. Well, if you don't come see me, then I will.
Alright, so we're finally going to be looking at Turkey Tom's response to the entire situation that we've been covering for about a month now. But basically, two of Tom's exes, Katie and Sacramento, went on Kiwi Farms and accused Tom of like all these horrendous things, like being too rough in the bedroom, making them bleed, age play allegations, recording without their consent during the act, and much, much more.
The two women who are accusing me, Sacramento 89, real name Rowan, and Left 4 Dead, real name Katie, took to gossip forum Kiwi Farms to post the accusations, along with carefully cherry-picked screenshots to back up their claims. These claims aren't super difficult to debunk just because of the overwhelming amount of evidence I have on my side. So without further ado, let's start with Sacramento or Rowan.
Now, very early on in the video, Tom mentioned he has a large amount of evidence, and I'm assuming that is what Sacramento meant by his just in case folder, or as Sacramento and Katie described, the blackmail folder, which this folder is basically his way of protecting himself in case something like this was to ever happen. And I said this in the other video, I think I said it when it first came up too. I don't really care that he has this blackmail folder, because honestly it makes sense why he would have this just in case folder full of all these screenshots, voice memos, because, well, they're probably gonna disprove all these insane claims made by these women.
Recently, I've been accused by an ex-girlfriend, along with an ex-partner, of non-consensually filming sexual encounters, being so rough and inconsiderate during sexual encounters that it bordered on assault, encouraging eating disorders, being into age play, along with a litany of other completely baseless, false accusations.
Alright, so these are pretty much all the big allegations that I've been wanting Tom to explain himself and debunk. Again, I've said this already, I don't really care about the smaller allegations, like him being gay or that he smells, he has like smelly toes or something. I just want to know if anything that Tom is doing is illegal. That's it.
Here, she alleges that I am a real freak and like to, quote, record sexual encounters without asking for consent. This is blatantly untrue. I have never recorded any sexual encounter without explicit consent. As a matter of fact, with Rowan, she was the one who initiated the idea of filming sex acts in the first place. On Tuesday, August 19th, after 3 months of knowing each other and being sexually active, Rowan texted me saying, "You should get those Meta glasses when you crack me." I responded by saying, "For what?" And she answers again, "Cracking time," alluding to me filming her with the glasses onboard camera. And on August 25th, Rowan texts me saying, "You should get those Meta things for real." So I respond by saying, "I think I'm going to avoid filming anything involving sex for a while," showing that I am clearly not the person interested in filming our sexual encounters. She is.
Alright, so already just right off the bat, he just disproved the first claim. It turns out by this message that she actually wanted to film. And the crazy thing is, it seems like Tom wasn't even the one asking in the first place. She's literally the one asking. It's also kind of crazy to me that she's trying to cancel Tom for all these things. And by the images, this woman looks pretty white. So why is she saying the N-word? Like, I'm not the internet police over here. I don't really care that she said the N-word. Problem is that she's trying to cancel Tom for like all these little things when clearly she's not a person either. But there's even at some points where she's begging him to send her videos so that I guess she can cherish them and do some freaky stuff with them. She would also always just mention how cringy Tom was during their relationship. But I'm gonna be honest, she's not no better. She literally says, "I will watch and keep them close to my heart, like you, my little Tom." I think that's such an odd thing to say. Tom also ends up talking about this weird idea that Rowan had, where she says that Tom was gonna blackmail her and expose that material onto the internet, which if you really think about it would not make a lot of sense from Tom's part. Like, come on, think about it. Why would he do that? If he did, it would pretty much be the end of his career and would also make him a criminal, because you can't do that. It's highly illegal. It's called revenge content, by the way. So it would be very stupid and idiotic of Tom to do.
At no point anywhere did Rowan provide any proof of me threatening to release these videos of us having sex, or threatening to send them anywhere. So she has no reason to believe that I would ever release them. The idea that I, a person who makes a living as a public figure would publicly release videos of me fucking my ex-girlfriend to get back at her is so insane. Not only would that incur reputational harm beyond belief, but also serious legal consequences. The only person who has ever sent an image of us having sex to anyone is, ironically, Rowan.
Okay, so this would bring up the point, was every recording consensual? Which Tom, of course, elaborates by saying that every time he record one of these encounters, Rowan would be looking directly into the camera the entire time. But of course, Rowan says that she would sometimes be behind and wouldn't even know he's filming until like 30 minutes later.
In Rowan's interview, she claims that I never asked for consent to film these sex acts and says that she wouldn't notice I was filming until 30 seconds to 1 minute into it.
I'm not sure of an exact date, but maybe like 2 or 3 months into our relationship, he never asked me. He would just pull out his phone and record. And I wouldn't notice until maybe 30 seconds in a minute or a minute into it.
Now, I obviously can't and would never show these videos to anyone, but in them, it's undeniable that she is staring directly into the camera from the moment the video starts. She never once questions why I'm filming or what I'm doing, because the reality is that every single time we recorded, I had explicit permission.
So yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I think Tom is telling the truth here, given the fact that there's literally screenshots of her basically begging Tom to record her. And funny enough, Rowan sent the creator of Kiwi Farms a picture of Tom and her engaging in intercourse for some reason. Like, I'm sure that you probably didn't have to provide this as proof, but obviously this was without Tom's consent.
The only person who has ever sent an image of us having sex to anyone is, ironically, Rowan. Days after I broke up with her, she, without my consent, sent the only image she has of us having sex to the owner of Kiwi Farms. Here, listen to him describe it.
Oh, and one other thing, I forgot about this, but you actually, Sacramento had sent me a picture that was like censored. Apparently the only picture that he would send you is one where his face isn't clearly visible in it, but you can,
Yes.
I can tell the desk, like his computer is moved onto the table, but I can still see like the monster is like on the cozy that's like on the table, like in the exact same position. So I can tell that's clearly his desk.
I guess I just find it ironic that someone who's accusing me of blackmailing her with her nudes literally sent a picture of us having sex to a man that she has never met.
And during the breakup, Rowan would send Tom a pros and cons list. Jesus, this woman is absolutely crazy. And nowhere in the list does it mention that he filmed her without her consent. I just have to go through this list because it is just absolutely insane. And I think it really shows how petty and immature this woman is. So let's start with the pros. There's really not that many compared to the cons. Pro, sweet sometimes. Dates are nice. Tries to make it work. Funny. Pays for meal. Makes me feel secure. Muscles. Alright, now for the long list of cons. Chopped in the face. And things for match and look. Okay, ego much. Cheat on his ex. Follows his friends around like a dog. Seems depressed all the time. No surprises. Takes hours to respond. So dry and vague. Barely compliments me. Doesn't leave his house. No hobbies other than gym or video games. And yeah, the list just goes on and on and on. I'm not reading all that. So I think it's safe to say at this point that Tom did not film her without her consent. In fact, she was the one asking and begging for it, and was the one who sent images of Tom without his consent. Alright, so the next major allegation that Tom talks about is making the girls bleed in the bedroom, implying that he would lay his turkey tom so hard, it was to the point where he was causing this woman to bleed and causing them physical pain as well. Which, of course, Tom shows evidence that Rowan enjoyed this and actually wanted it.
Says he likes hurting me during sex and making me bleed. This also reflects her public claims about me, but the great irony is that I never even said this. She did. On September 14th, 2025, Rowan sent me a text saying, quote, "I'm such a freak. I like when it hurts and bleeds after. Something Wong." On August 17th of 2025, the day after my birthday, Rowan and I were planning to go to mass, and she wanted to have sex with me. So she texted me saying, Tom, I started my period. I was driving, so I couldn't say much, but I replied by saying, that sucks, I'm 40 minutes away. She follows up by asking me if I mind getting my sword bloody, and I say I'll be okay.
Yeah, these text messages are just absolutely crazy. Do you mind getting your sword bloody? Well, I guess Tom does not mind. He also talks about how Rowan has month-long periods, which would explain why she would bleed after they do it. Now, another huge allegation was Tom liked to engage in some hardcore stuff, like to the point where he's wailing on these women and leaving them with bruises over their body. So I'm gonna assume, at least in Rowan's case, that she wanted it and she liked it. Nah, I'm for real a freak. Like, I want to be kidnapped and some RS. Yeah, I want to be tied up and taken to the woods and pounded, so maybe there's something wrong with me. I mean, at this point, do I really have to say anything about this? But hopefully by now you start to realize in a lot of these insane situations, it seems like it's flipped to make it seem like Tom is the crazy one in this relationship. She says, that's why I like you, because you are big like a caveman, and I feel small next to you. I'm trapped in my natural instincts. And then Tom says, I'm like the main character in The Croods. And throughout the rest of the conversation with Tom and Rowan, she basically asks/begged Tom for intercourse a lot, to the point where she's even asking to see his turkey Tom. And she's also been practically begging for all of it. The filming, the hardcore stuff, and even the grape stuff as well. It's all literally consensual. R-word thing is so hot. I never did that before. You should tie me up next time. Hee hee hee. Consensual sex is good. You know what I meant by that. I don't know what to call it. Yeah, I get it. And for literally 10 minutes, Tom included all of these back and forth messages that are pretty freaky, and again shows that Rowan was actually the one who insisted on a lot of these conversations, and that everything in this relationship has been consensual from the very beginning. I'm not going to go through every single freaking message that Rowan sent to Tom. There's just way too many to get to. But it seems like the only reason she came out against Turkey Tom was because Tom didn't want a relationship with her anymore. And you can even see that she was the one harassing and basically spamming him almost every day about how much she loved him and how she thinks they should move in together and how they should get married and have kids. And apparently at this point, they've only been dating for a few months, so she's already doing all this in a 2-month time period, until for some reason she decided to call him on the phone and basically say that she's gonna blackmail him if she didn't continue their relationship.
Immediately after I told Rowan that I wanted to break up with her, she began threatening to post about me online, and even began attempting to blackmail me into having sex with her again. I don't know what you want me to say to you. I just want to move on from our relationship and have you go be in your corner. You can meet other guys and it'll be fine. I'll go meet other girls. We'll just break. We'll break up.
No, you won't, because I'm gonna make it hard for you to ever be in a relationship.
Why?
Because you don't deserve one.
Why?
Because you're a piece of shit.
Why?
Because our whole relationship, you act like everything is all about you the whole time.
Okay.
You don't give a fuck. You're just an awful guy, and I'm so sorry that your mom raised you. She seemed like a nice lady, but clearly she did something very wrong.
Okay, Rowan, I just want to move on and have my life, and you'll move on and have your life, and we can be in our own corners. We don't have to do damage to each other. We don't have to cause each other any more anguish. Okay?
I just want to see you again, though. Do you think we'll ever be able to see each other?
After the way these conversations have gone today, I really don't think so.
Why?
Because you're threatening to blackmail me.
I'm not. Well, if you don't come see me, then I will.
So yeah, as you can see, this girl is absolutely crazy. and absolutely insane. And honestly, I cannot blame him for wanting to distance himself away from a relationship like this, where this girl seems to always like trying to booty call, and she wants to move in and marry you and have kids. And this is all only in a few months of knowing her. And she obviously doesn't really like that she's trying to distance himself away from her. So after trying to blackmail him, she collaborated with Katie to basically try to ruin his career, which obviously didn't seem to work because these two are complete idiots. But I'm sure we'll probably talk more about that at the end of the video. Alright, so another big allegation that Tom addresses is the age play allegations. And this is the one I'm mostly wondering how he's going to wiggle his way out of or explain himself. Because I feel like this claim really turned the narrative into a very strange direction. Because if he's into age play, that means he likes girls who act young, much younger than they actually are. And maybe even potentially likes younger people. But apparently he doesn't. He ends up elaborating that this relationship he had with Ellie, or aka Creeper Hoarders, did not involve any age play.
Now, one of the other allegations that Rowan has levied towards me is that I'm into age play. She's not alleging that I did it with her, she's alleging that I did it with another girl named Ellie, who I briefly talked to 2 years ago. Now, there's no proof whatsoever that I did anything close to age play, but I did text her about these allegations, and she clearly states that I've never done age play.
Tom again confirms that there was no age play going on, which means most likely just down bad, and that was the only reason why he hooked up with this girl. It is still a little bit strange that he saw the stuff on her Instagram that she was posting and just still went with it. But she herself is claiming that nothing age play related happened. And it doesn't really make a lot of sense for her to lie on Tom's name. Like, there's literally nothing for her to gain. Maybe Tom paid her, who knows? But I would say she's probably telling the truth.
An ex-girlfriend of mine named Kai, who I dated for 3 years, also publicly posted on Twitter saying that I never abused her and that we never did anything related to age play.
Kai is Lyric's, aka Liam Donovan's current girlfriend. Her and Tom had a pretty lengthy relationship, dating for 3 years, and of course they ended up having a falling out and breaking up. Kai ended up dropping a Google document titled Turkey Tom Allegations, My Response. She basically talks about the relationship they had together, saying that yes, we were both very toxic, but no abuse or age play related things happens in the relationship. So even she says no age play stuff happens. And again, she also has nothing to gain out of this, so there's no reason for her to lie. So it's probably true that he's not into age play.
The closest thing I've ever engaged in when it comes to age play is that sometimes girls do call me daddy during sex. It's a little embarrassing given that I am me. I accept that it's something people are going to see as a little bit strange. All I can really do at this point is accept that it's something that I've done. And I think that Rowan should accept it about herself too, given that she also called me daddy during sex and over text repeatedly.
Yeah, honestly, I don't really care that he likes being called, you know what, I'm not saying it. But I don't know, I feel like it's really not that bad. I also feel like it's a pretty normal thing to do in a relationship. Like, a lot of the guys also probably like being called that. Me personally, not for me, but to each their own, I guess. He also brought up a really good point that Rowan is just gonna have to live with the things she did. He didn't mention Katie, but so is she. And honestly, it's just that simple. You're just gonna have to live with it. Look, I understand that you regret a lot of things you've done in this relationship, but don't sit there and lie to your friends and lie to yourself and say that you're completely innocent in this relationship. And Tom was the one wanting these things, and you're just going along with it or something. No, you're just gonna have to live with your mistakes, learn from them, and move on. Another allegation that these women would try to push was the idea that Tom would buy random like Hello Kitty and Monster High merchandise as a way to make them seem more like his ex. But as I suspected, Rowan lied about this. And Rowan did indeed have things like Hello Kitty accessories and Hello Kitty decorations on her wall. And obviously she was hiding her identities, so we couldn't look into it like we did to Katie, where we found out on her public Instagram that she literally has Hello Kitty things in her room. This is just another stupid and absolutely dumb thing to lie about, because based off the girls that Tom dates, there's a pretty good high chance that they are into Hello Kitty, and these women literally were, so I literally don't know why they would lie about it. Besides that, they're just absolute idiots. Another stupid thing that Rowan lied about was that she didn't know who Tom was before matching with her. A lot of people called this out because why would you screenshot a Tinder match of somebody you don't know or know nothing about? I thought that was a little bit fishy too when I was first covering this. And Tom ended up showing a screenshot that Rowan actually messaged him 15 months before they even matched on Tinder. Again, this is such an idiotic thing to lie about because she has to know that when she gets exposed, that she actually knew who Turkey Tom was, it completely destroys her credibility. Like, don't be surprised when people start not believing you. Again, after the relationship ended, Tom ended up recording the call where she basically says that she's gonna blackmail him if they didn't get back together. He would go on to get spammed by her, and she's calling him dozens and dozens of times, as well as sending tons and tons of messages complaining and talking trash and threatening him with the police, and even going to the point where she's texting him saying, just apologize, I'll stop talking to you, please just talk to me, I'll see you in 3 to 5 months when you want to smash again. LOL. Yeah, this does not sound like a victim to me. It sounds like an obsessed ex who can't get over their ex. And by the way, she posted all this to Kiwi Farms 2 days before they broke up. And on January 7th, she strangely texted him saying, you recorded other girls too. During sex, you recorded other girls during. Like the same thing where you don't ask, you just pull your phone out and record it. That's illegal, Tom. I hope you delete them because you really have some sick power thing hitting on and choking women, even leaving bruises. It's good to know I'm not the only one who felt extremely uncomfortable. Well, she must have just forgot that she sent many messages pretty much begging Tom to do this. So this basically comes off as her trying to plant evidence so that she can screenshot it and use it against Tom, which is exactly what she did. Now let's talk about the other ex of Tom's, Clorox Katie. And they actually only met twice, which is a little bit weird because she made it seem like they met a lot more. But after the first time they met, Clorox Katie said, I usually don't either. That was the craziest I've ever experienced for sure. I had so much fun, Tom. Let's do it again soon. I already miss you. I so down. You can kidnap me whenever. I already miss you. Solo in my bed. Again, notice how this girl mentioned she wants to be kidnapped and physically taken, which if you remember, she claims that she was really uncomfortable that Tom was into stuff like this, which is obviously just not the case. She would also constantly send Tom nudes, and Tom makes this point, why would you send nudes to someone that you allegedly don't trust, and you're always complaining about how he's recording you without your consent? Yet you're constantly seeing him nudes? Like, that doesn't really make a lot of sense.
This is after the first time we hung out, February 18th. She says she's going to swallow me, and she then sends me naked photos of herself willingly. Keep in mind, once again, she's accusing me of recording sex with her without her consent, and then she keeps sending me naked photos of herself. She even sent me a video, by the way. She says, I need you right meow. I need you ASAP. February 22nd and February 24th, we have I miss you and are you home yet? In the next screenshot, I say, your pussy's gonna be so sore. And Katie responds with, good thing we had to wait a while because then I can take a beating. She then says, I'm ready for you to throw me around.
Tom again shows a whole bunch of messages that proves that she likes to get physical in the bedroom, if you know what I mean. So he's not just throwing left hooks at these women for like no reason at all. They literally want it. And hopefully I made it clear that this woman is just absolutely insane. She also constantly spammed Tom with messages. And she also even said the N-word. But she would spam Tom for 10 months straight, sliding up on his stories at least 12 times, and trying to meet up with him for a third time. And she even tries to have a relationship with Tom, and Tom pulls back saying he'd be a bad boyfriend. So this is yet another obsessed ex. Well, actually, let me rephrase that. They never even dated. This was just a quick hookup. This was just another obsessed hookup who's mad at the relationship she had with Tom. So she decided that the next best thing to do was destroy his career. And ironically enough, Rowan tried to message Tom about Katie, saying that she apparently liked to run her mouth and make false essay allegations, which ironically Clorox Katie called out the third ex for being a clout chaser, and there was also this huge fight going on with the exes about who's the bigger victim, and it turns out none of them are the victim, and they were all consenting adults. Now, the only allegation that Tom did not beat were the gooning allegations.
Now, I've seen a lot of people say things to the effect of, Tom's a hypocrite. He gooned. And you're right. I did goon. Okay. I did not stop gooning. So maybe in the end, the hats are more relevant than ever. Anyway, that's about it. I've said everything I need to. Goodbye.
It's just very ironic that he has merch called Stop Gooning, and all he really had to do for this whole thing not to happen was to literally stop gooning. He really should have taken his own advice. So yeah, that's pretty much it with Tom's response. I just cannot believe how stupid Clorox Katie and Sacramento are for thinking that they could just blatantly lie and not understand that they're going to be called out for it because Tom has literally all the evidence to prove that your guys are lying. Like, did you just think people were going to ignore it? Like, I just don't understand their plan. Like, even from the get-go, a lot of YouTubers were very skeptical of these claims. For me, I was very skeptical about the whole thing, mainly because it seemed like they were not taking accountability for their actions, which is why I was more willing to believe Kai's response than their statement. But yeah, that's about it for today's video. We are still not done with the Turkey Tom saga. The aftermath from Turkey Tom's response has been absolutely crazy. So we're gonna be covering that next. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. I'm almost at 7 subscribers, so you should subscribe. Bye.
God damn it. This guy. It sucks so bad. I mean, the roleplay was so good. We were having such good gooner roleplay. We were pretending to be dogs on Discord. God damn it. Always throwing a wrench in my plan.